This is the Provoke EDC by CRKT. And, you know, from what I'm seeing about this knife, quite a few people are wrong about what the purpose of this knife is for. This is an everyday carry knife. This knife is not for self-defense. It is not for, you know, I guess you could, any knife you can use for self-defense, but it's not specifically designed for that. This is a showpiece knife. This is for someone that's already into knives. You have knives, you have a knife that you use to open, open packages every day, take hunting with you. You already have knives for specific reasons, just like we have different shoes for specific reasons. There are times when I go out with the wife, I go out to the club, and there are some shoes that I pull out the box that don't get pulled out very often. This is what that knife is for. Now, if we're just talking about the blade itself, it's a D2 blade. It is a drop point style. It does give the, kind of gives the feeling of an everyday carry knife, opening packages, cutting zip ties, opening up, taking toys out of boxes, stuff like that. That's what this is going to be good for. I've saw some folks do videos on this talking about this as a crappy self-defense knife, and I would concur with that, but this is a Caswell design for CRKT. He is the designer for the Provoke. The Provoke is more of a self-defense knife with that hawk bill on there, but this is not really an EDC knife. They do have subtle differences between the two. This is my review for the CRKT Provoke EDC. CRKT did send this knife to me for free. They didn't know I was making this video. I don't owe them a video. They're not paying me for anything. Matter of fact, I just wanted to do a video on this because I like this knife. I do like taking this to barbecues, to parties, and just letting it be a talking piece, trying to see, can you deploy and redeploy my knife, which most people cannot do. Interesting talking piece for me. It works on these two pivots. I'll put some slow motion in here so you can see a little bit better. But once you get these pivots here, you literally just kind of push back here, that deploys the knife and that locks it in place. And once you get it back into the lock position, it locks it in place again. In the in-between point, as you can see those two pivots working there. And so it's made of aluminum. It's relatively light for a blade that has all these mechanisms going on inside of it. It has a recessed pocket clip right there. You press that, and that's how you can access this. It can fit in a fifth wheel or in the fifth pocket of a pair of jeans or something like that, but it's a little bit big for that. It really does work well just using it as a traditional pocket clip. And the thing I like about this is the talking piece aspect of it. It's very fidgety to play with. You can kind of spin it around and do whatever you see fit with it. And then you can pop it out and you can use it to open up your different knickknacks and doodads and all that good stuff as well. The thing about this is that it's big brother. The one that came out before, the CRKT Provoke, has had a lot of iterations before it. They have trainers for it if you want to learn how to use it, but it's much thicker in design. The deployment of the regular Provoke is a lot more pronounced. Like it has a bigger thocky style to it. The way you redeploy the knife is slightly different. You decompress right here, and that's how you redeploy the knife. Whereas on the CRKT Provoke EDC, you press back here. So it still has the decompression, but it's on the rear part of the blade. So it's a little bit different for redeploying it. This has a hogbill design. This really is designed for self-defense because you go here, you do a stab motion. This kind of will lend itself into the person that you're going for if you're trying to go for self-defense type stuff. But this is not really the type of knife that you pull out to open up packages because it kind of looks aggressive. You pull it out at a barbecue, people are like, well, who are you about to fight? That's a little bit weird. You pull this out at a barbecue, people still think it's used for opening packages, and they're almost the same size. Because of the hawkbill, it actually has a CRKT. They're about basically the same size for the EDC and the Provoke. If the hawkbill was not that blade shape, it would be longer. Of course, it's thicker. And for me, this is the type of knife that you get if you just like to have fun, if you like the type of person that just wants to have something unique in your knife collection. If you're a collector of knives, I do believe you should have a showpiece knife. And for me, this is the type of knife that I like to take with me whenever I am going out and have a talking piece, grab my favorite bottle of liquor, grabbing a cigar. It's just something you need to look at. There's not a lot to this. I think that the price point is fair on it when it comes to the engineering on it. There's a lot of moving parts with it, but I like the fact that CRKT is always trying to innovate. They're always coming up with something different. If you see something similar to this, it's going to be a clone. And so that says a lot about CRKT. I think that pays a lot of respect and homage to what they're doing out here in these streets. Can I recommend this full price wise? Honestly, I think I can if you're okay with that. Both of these are less than $200. So the CRKT Provoke, you can get it in Grivery, and you can also get it in polymer, and you can get it in aluminum. The newest version of it being in the Grivery, which is just came out last fall. It's very popular. They know what they got to hit on their hands. For the CRKT EDC, this is going to be in aluminum. Will they come out with a G10? I guess they could. I think that would be a unique thing if they bring this out in some G10 or something like that. That might make it a little bit more texture for you to hold on to. But it's been working out well for me. I've had this for 3 months now. I think I could really give my opinion on it, which I'm a fan of it. You may not be the biggest fan that you're paying over $100 for a D2 blade, but if you really think about the engineering, you think about what this knife is for, I think it's worth it. But S down below for smash, P down below for pass. Let me know what other type of knife for self-defense purposes you use with the comments down below. If this is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.